Many new features came with the new iPhone 14. iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max came with iOS 16 software. The new iPhones have new and big features available. These new features make the user's life a little easier and help make it better to use. iPhone 14 and its unknown features. 1. You can turn off the always-on display. The iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max feature an always-on display that dims the wallpaper and highlights the clock. However, even lowering the refresh rate to 1 Hz can drain the battery quickly. That's why Apple designed the always-on display to turn it off when asked. This feature, which is enabled by default, can be turned off at any time if users think it is not useful or is draining the battery. To turn it off, open Settings. Tap Display and Brightness. Turn off the always-on option. You can also set it to turn off at night as part of sleep mode if you don't want it to be off all the time and want it to be on during the day. Here's what you need to do. Open Settings. Tap on the Focus option. Select Sleep. Here you can schedule a sleep focus to activate at a specific time each night under the Schedule tab. When enabled, your always-on display will turn off at night. Laying the iPhone face down can also come in handy. Previously, this method was used to disable Hey Siri. Now it lets you turn off the always-on screen until you pick up the phone again. 2. Enabling the tactile keyboard. As part of iOS 16, Apple introduced haptic feedback to its keyboard. This feature means you can feel light taps or vibrations under the screen while typing. To turn on the haptic keyboard feature, open Settings. Select the Sound and Touch section. Select the Keyboard Feedback section. Turn on the Tactile option. 3. Add Battery Percentage Indicator. There's a new battery percentage indicator available that you can activate to show the actual percentage on the battery icon in your status bar. To enable the battery percentage indicator, open Settings. Go to the Battery section. Turn on the Battery Percentage option. For changing notification style. By default on iPhone 14s and bundled software iOS 16, there is now a notification count panel below the lock screen to show you how many notifications you have. But you can change it to a list of notifications or a series of notification windows. For this, open Settings. Select Notifications. Depending on how you want the notifications to be displayed on the lock screen, choose the one that suits you best from the given options. 5. Lock a private note with Face ID. In Notes, you can now lock a specific note with Face ID authentication. You no longer need to lock any information with device passcode only. To enable this feature, open Settings. Go to the Notes option. Find the Password option and tap it. Press Use Device Password on the screen that appears. Then change it to Use Face ID option. You no longer need to use a specific password to unlock notes. To lock a specific note, long press the note you want to lock within the app and then tap Lock Note in the pop-up menu that appears. So when you try to open the note from now on, Face ID is used. 6. Edit messages and undo send. Sometimes when you text, you either immediately regret it and want to take it back, or you make a typo. Fortunately, there is a solution to these problems in the iPhone 14s and the accompanying iOS 16. You can now unsend messages or edit a message you sent. For this, open Messages. Write your message as normal and long press the message after sending. You will see both edit and undo send options in the drop-down menu. Choose which option you want to use. However, there is a point that should not be missed. If the person you sent does not have iOS 16, the other party still sees the message. 7. Delete duplicate photos. Apple's newest Photos app lets you quickly and easily delete duplicate photos to help save iPhone and iCloud storage. For this, open Photos. Tap on the Albums option. Scroll down until you see duplicates in the list at the bottom of the page. You can now press merge next to each match or select at the top and then manually select and delete each picture you want to delete. 8. Your photos are better thanks to Photonic Engine. Apple mentioned this feature during the initial announcement of the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max. Apple has not only improved the camera system in the iPhone 14 Pro family, it also added a new feature called Photonic Engine for users to really benefit from the improvements. Using Deep Fusion, the Photonic Engine can stitch multiple images together to create a much richer final result than before. Even better, the iPhone does all this without compressing the image. Photos taken in low light are impressively enhanced by the Photonic Engine. 9. Cut objects from photos and drag them into new documents. One of its new features is the ease of sharing it in any application by cutting a subject in the photo. Similar to Photoshop apps, you can easily cut an object from a photo and quickly drag and drop it onto another image. Touch and hold as normal to subtract the subject from the background. Swipe the object out of the app using your other hand while continuing to hold it with the same finger. Open the application into which you want to import the object. If you want to share any photo object in another way, you can long press the subject, wait for the white line to appear around it, then tap share and choose where you want to share it. Or you can press the copy option and then manually open the application you want to copy and paste. 10. Take 48 megapixel photos. This feature stands out as a feature only available on iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max. The main camera shoots at 48 megapixels, using the exact pixel count available on its sensor. Open Settings. Go to the Camera option. Select Formats at the top of the list. Turn on the Apple ProRAW option. Select the resolution in this option and make sure 48 megapixels is selected. When you open the Camera app, you'll see a RAW toggle at the top of the screen. Just tap it to activate the full 48 megapixel RAW capture. Normally a normal photo takes up between 1 megabyte and 3 megabytes of storage on your device. But a combination of the ProRAW format and the new 48MP camera on the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max means much larger files. It can be predicted that the images captured in ProRAW with the 48MP camera will occupy up to 80 megabytes of storage space. This can become a problem if you don't have a lot of space on your device. Those planning to take a lot of photos in 48MP ProRAW are advised to increase the storage to the full 1 terabyte option.